This is Gerard Wellbrock inviting you to join us for Tiger Talk. Catch the video replay of Monday night's radio program at 10:30 and 7 o'clock, Tuesdays and Wednesdays on Eagle Cable Channel 14 and 614. That's Tiger Talk, Mondays on Tiger Radio Mix 103 and Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 10:30 and 7 on Eagle Cable Channel 14 and 614. Hello again, everyone, and welcome into Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock with you as we talk some Fort Hays State Tiger football. And boy, what a game to recap from Saturday. The Tigers rally from an early 10-point deficit to upset previously undefeated and 13th ranked Emporia State 27-24 to move to 5-2 on the year. We'll talk all about that and look ahead to another undefeated foe coming up this Saturday as Fort Hays State travels to Maryville to take on the third-ranked and 7-0 Northwest Missouri State Bearcats. Tiger Talk brought to you by the Golden Corral Buffet and Grill, just north of the interstate in Hays. Open 7 days a week. It's the Golden Corral, best buffet in the USA. We'll take a break. When we come back, head football coach Chris Brown will join us. You're tuned in to Tiger Talk. Welcome back into Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, head football coach Chris Brown. The Tigers coming off a big win over Emporia State on Saturday. Tiger Talk brought to you by the Golden Corral Buffet and Grill, where they've got everything. A great menu of items, seafood to traditional steaks, and of course the breakfast. And kids eat free Tuesdays from 4 until close at the Golden Corral, north of the interstate. Best buffet in the USA. Coach, heck of a win. Needless to say, a very big victory for your squad. I think the big tone, hearing the players afterwards and even yourself, you played for 4 quarters, probably the most complete game of the year for your guys.
I think it was. I think we played hard for 4 quarters. I didn't have any real let-ups, during this game. But, I think our kids really tuned into what we were doing offensively and defensively and focused in and locked in throughout the whole game. And I'm just proud of the way our kids, bounced back from last week and coming here this week to get after it and play for 4 quarters. I mean, that's been our motto all week and all year long. And I finally think they figured it out and understand what we needed to do, to win ball games.
So many big performances to talk about. Let's start with quarterback Travion Albert. Ran for 151 yards and a touchdown, 10 of 20 through the air, 118 yards and a score. One of his better games, and I thought he ran about as hard and with as much conviction as he ever has in his Tiger career.
He has. He ran very, very physical for us on Saturday. Put his head down a few times, broke some tackles, and, there's a lot of plays in there that, he just slips one tackle and he gets another, 20 to 30 yards and even scores a couple touchdowns. And, just a tremendous, performance by him and the things that he did, especially on the last drive of completing 3 passes. But, that kid played well. He was focused. He was locked in. And his whole attitude, during this game was totally different than I've seen before.
Shaquille Cooper's kind of funny. He goes for 216 yards and a score. He's kind of an afterthought. He had a really, really solid day, but there were so many players that stepped up. You kind of forget about the day he had, but obviously his 89-yard run was big.
It was huge, and how he got through there and made that play happen is amazing to me. I mean, he was balled up, broke a tackle, kind of, scooted to the left side, found the hole, and, kind of ran out of gas there towards the end. But, he's being Shaq, making plays. You need to have plays made, and we're kind of wondering if this is the point in the game where he's going to make that one long run and break it for a touchdown, and it was a tremendous play for us.
Yeah, first time we've seen somebody maybe track him down, but he had just enough gas to get into the end zone and get the score. Brock Long, 22 tackles, 3 off a school record in the Division II era. He had the big interception to seal the victory. He was all over the place. He just continues to amaze every time out.
He was, and he's a great football player. He's got a very good instincts and understands the game very well, watches tons of film, and he knows what they're doing to him. He knows where the blocks are going to be, and he knows how to fit himself, off the block to make the tackle. And he shoots gaps very well as well. And when he gets there, he's going to be physical when he makes the hit. So, hats off to him. But a lot of it goes credit to our front line, getting him some room, keeping those guys off our linebackers, and a lot of that credit goes to Nate Shepard. effort. I mean, that kid played a tremendous game too. He's getting triple teamed, double teamed, and that kept those guys off Brock and our linebackers. So I mean, hats off to him for that.
Yeah, you just kind of read my mind. I was going to bring that up. Usually, when your linebackers are flying around and have a high tackle total, that means the front four or front three, depending on the formation, doing their job, occupying the offensive line for the other team, and not letting them get to that second level.
They did, and really Nate has done a great job. We played a lot of that three-man front in this game, and a lot of it's on him. He's got to beat the center every time and make them double or triple him, and he did that. And with those doubles and triples, he was still able to make some plays as well on his own. But he's a big force. We just need to find a couple more kids like him to help us out on that D-line.
Drew O'Brien, I know he missed a couple of 40-plus yard field goals, but he hit a couple, got the 3 extra points. He becomes the leading scorer for kickers in Fort Hays State history, and he's tied for the most points ever by a Fort Hays State Tiger. Still a very, very solid day for a kid who's come so far from his freshman year when he came into your program with not a lot of football experience.
Yeah, he's really grown and matured, and he really puts the time and effort in. He watches videos, and he practices all through the summer, and through the spring. He's out there continuously to get himself better, and we're hoping to get him that record here at home in this game, but I guess he likes to do it on the road, so we'll find out what happens on a couple. It would have been nice to get him that record on a 45-yarder, just to kind of seal the deal, but he's a great kid, works hard, and we're very, very pleased to have him on our team.
Just the third win for the Tigers over a nationally ranked opponent since going to Division II, and obviously this was big for a lot of reasons, but postseason hopes and all the goals and aspirations very, very much alive for your team with that victory.
Yeah, it is. It's a big win for us. Beating Emporia, beating Washburn, and hopefully I wish we could have got Pitt. That just helps with the recruiting as well here in Kansas of getting the kids that we want to get. But that is a big win for us, and our kids battled all the way through it. And I think they got a lot of confidence right now of where this program's at and where we're headed. And they're not happy with where they're at right now. They still feed off those 2 losses, and they don't want to lose again, and they're going to compete each week to hopefully get to the playoffs or at least get to a bowl game, and that's our focus right now.
Well, big one coming up this Saturday against Northwest Missouri State. We'll talk more about that a little bit later on in the program. We're going to take another break. We'll recap the exciting game on Saturday right after this. This is Tiger Talk.
They're growing up and getting busier. Between school, sports, dance, sleepovers, you want to make sure they can always reach you when they need to. Nextech Wireless has the perfect cell phone starter plan. For only $40 per month, it includes unlimited data, calling, and texting. There are no contracts or overages, so they can call, text, YouTube, and stream all they want. Plus, smartphones start at just $150. Certain restrictions apply. Get the $40 WOW Unlimited plan at Nextech Wireless.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Walbrock, head football coach Chris Brown. It's all brought to you by the Golden Corral, best buffet in the USA. Don't forget the sunrise breakfast starting at 7:30 on Saturdays and Sundays. A lot of great items. You can't beat it at the Golden Corral, the best buffet in the USA. Coach, a game which it took you a while to get onto the scoreboard, yet offensively you were moving the ball. You did a lot of good things, just had a couple of drives stall, but you had to be excited the way the offense came to play, even though you didn't get points on until that second quarter.
It was. It was huge for us. Time of possession in that game was very, very important. We wanted to make sure we kept their quarterback off the field and kept their offense off the field, and I thought our offense did a great job of sustaining some drives, and even though we didn't score on those drives, some of those drives we were still able to keep them off the field because they're a very explosive offense, make great things happen, and our kids did a good job of doing the things we needed them to do to keep points off the board.
Fell behind 10-0, but then an 11-play scoring drive capped by Drew's 36-yard field goal got you on the board, and you could, I wouldn't say sense of relief, but you could tell, okay, now we're settled into this game. Let's go to work. We're on the board and got a chance to make the comeback.
We did. A few of those things were just a block away or a throw away, or maybe had a penalty that kind of set us back too, but. Good for Drew. Keep getting some points on the board, and he did it twice, and in that first quarter of getting us 6 points to help us stay in the game and be part of that game as well. With a 10-6 going into half, that's huge for us.
After the field goal, you forced a 3 and out. It just felt like the defense really rose after that. Emporia State's one of the better offenses around, and to force the 3 and out after you get the score seemed to be big for their confidence.
That is, it's huge, and our kids really saw that as well. Hey, we can stop these guys. We need to do our job and do what we're supposed to do to keep us, in this ball game, and not let him get out of the pocket. And I thought our guys did a great job of containing him all throughout the game. But that 3-and-out was huge for us. Just give us a little momentum, a little more confidence, going into the rest of this game.
Came back at a 39-yard field goal from Drew that made it 10-6. And then you got to stop. And I thought that was important after you cut it to 4. You got to stop. Didn't get the field goal to maybe make it a 1-point game, but get the stop and then get that stop after the missed field goal. Very, very important to keep them off the board and keep any momentum from their side going into halftime.
It is, because those points are very, very important. Being able to stop them in that situation is very important as well. But if they go down and score, they get their ball right back after half, and who knows what happens. They could go down and score again. Now it's a 2-touchdown game that we have to come back with and probably have to get a 2-point conversion to even tie it up. But, hats off to our defense in that situation of getting the job done and doing the things they need to do to keep those points off the board.
It was 10-6 at halftime, and all the fun was still to come in the second half Saturday at Lewis Field, and we'll talk more about it when we return. Tiger Talk brought to you by the Golden Corral, best buffet in the USA. More with the coach right after this on Tiger Talk.
BOS Motorsports in Hayes introduces the top off-road vehicle lineup with Polaris. The world leader in off-road innovation presents the Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, and Ace off-road vehicles right here in the heartland of BOS Motorsports in Hayes. Whether you're looking for something for the trail, the farm, the oil patch, the hunt, BOS has the ride just for you. Stop in today and ride away with yours. At BOS, customer service is #1. Our in-house parts and service department will take care of you before, during, and after the sale. BOS Motorsports just north of I-70 at exit 159 in Hayes.
Welcome back once again to Tiger Talk, presented by the Golden Corral, best buffet in the USA. And you, of course, can enjoy breakfast anytime, beginning at 11. The omelets, the pancakes, biscuits and gravy, they all got it at the Golden Corral, best buffet in the USA. Tigers beat Emporia State on Saturday. They were down 10-6 at halftime. And as you mentioned before the break, Hornets got the ball to start the third quarter. They moved it a little bit, but you forced them to punt, and that was key to start that second half, keeping them off the board.
Yeah, you got to, especially with that offense and as explosive as it is. The quarterback's tremendous, running backs were good, wide receivers are very talented as well. But you got to keep those points off, get the ball back to our offense, and get some more time off the clock, and hopefully go down to score. But it was just kind of back and forth there in this half, and it was a crazy half. But our defense played very well, and our offense did the things they need to do to win this ball game.
Yeah, after the 10-0 start, the defense forcing Emporia to punt on 4 consecutive possessions. You missed the 43-yard field goal from Drew, but then Raheem Dumas, an incredible one-handed interception, gave you guys the ball back at midfield. It was the first of 3 in that second half.
Yeah, that was huge for us, and we needed a turnover. We needed to find a way to get the ball back to our offense, and that was a tremendous play by him. He was kind of beat deep, caught back up, got himself in position, nice one-handed grab and to the ground, and then we go score right off that interception. And that's something we've been talking about all year long with our kids. We got to capitalize on opportunities, and that's an opportunity we did capitalize on.
Yeah, you were second going into the game in the MIAA in takeaways, yet had only scored 3 times off of those takeaways. You had 3 turnovers. One of them was late, but the 2 prior ones you got touchdowns out of, and that's obviously such a key to winning football games in this conference.
It is. It's momentum. It's confidence. It's getting points on the board, and it's a big change. It's a big momentum shift for both sides, and that's huge for us offensively. Getting the turnovers defensively, scoring, putting points on the board. And it always makes the other team kind of got that thing in the back of their head that just makes them think a little bit, hey, can we get this done or not?
Travion Albert, a 41-yard touchdown run to give the Tigers their first lead. Then Emporia came right back. Pretty impressive 16-play, 75-yard drive, over 5.5 minutes eating off the clock. And Mitchell Foote caught the touchdown pass. I thought his grab on third down was key. One-handed. It was a remarkable play when it looked like you might get a stop. Kept that drive alive, and they eventually scored.
It was. It was a ball that probably shouldn't have been caught, but the kid's so long and lanky and lean, and it was a great catch by him to keep that drive alive. And they did the things they needed to do on that drive to go score. But it was a great drive by them. But we hung in there, we battled, and kept competing, and things worked out for us.
Yeah, you don't score the next possession, they get it back, they're moving. Daniel Lindsay goes down with what looked to be a stinger, and here comes another redshirt freshman, John Wilson. We've talked about him before, waiting for his opportunity. Huge interception. Thought he played very, very well, filling in right there, and that was an obviously big play to stop their drive.
It was a huge play for us. 4th down, and I think it was 12 or 13 yards. But him getting in the game and in that situation, and he came in and played very, very well for us. And still, I told him it was a great play, great interception, but kind of look where the ball's at now. It would have been, ball on the 30. Now we got it on the 10 or 11 yard line. I was like, very proud of you. I'm glad you got the interception, but, understand the situation. But I don't blame you. First time out there as a young man and the ball comes at you, you can't help but pick it.
Well, I guess he was helping Shaq because he wanted Shaq to get over 200 yards rushing. So the very next play, he goes 89 for his score. We kind of talked about it earlier in the program, but that was a huge, huge run at that time to give you the lead right back.
It was huge. I mean, definitely huge for us. And, I guess him and Shaq probably were talking before the game, hey, if I get an interception, I'll make sure it's inside the 10 or inside the 20. But, it's just impressive. Our kids just keep battling and keep competing all the way through a game. They never quit. They never give up. They got the confidence, that they can win any ball game, and that's huge for our kids right now. I mean, I'm just very, very proud of them.
Looked like you're going to get a stop, but then you can't do anything with it. And then the 66-yard punt return, obviously momentum swing. It was late in the ball game. Looked like a block in the back. Didn't happen, and that's the way it goes. But it certainly didn't look good after that big punt return by Foote, who had a monster game for them.
It wasn't just the drive before that. There's 4 or 5 minutes on the clock, and, we have the lead. And offensively, we have got to do things to run the clock down, get first downs, try to go score again, and put this game away. And, we just didn't get it done, and so we had to punt the ball. And, of course, it was a great return by the kid and getting to the end zone. But, I really didn't panic in that situation. I'm so used to our guys being in that situation. We're down. We got 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left. Hey, we'll probably find a way to win this game.
Well, certainly did. As Travion Albert engineers an 8-play, 75-yard drive, and you kind of touched on it. Tyler Bacon had a catch early in the possession. Garrett Hawley, who has just had a remarkable year just to be on the field, and we talked to him before the game, just how he's reinvented himself. Biggest catch in his career, 27 yards in traffic, got you a first down. A one-handed grab by Isaiah Maxey on 3rd and 9 for 20 yards, got it to the 20, and then just a perfect throw to Evan Jennings, who had the chance against Missouri Western last week, and obviously the situation there to come through, score what turned out to be the game winner. Bunch of guys filling in for an injured teammate, and Andrew Florian came through at the biggest time of the game.
And they really did, and hats off to those kids for working so hard in practice and doing the things we asked them to do. I mean, their blocking was great all day long, catching the balls when they needed to be caught, and our kids just stepped up to the plate. Travion put the ball in places where our guys could catch it, and only our guys, and Hawley had to go up and get that between 2 defenders, and then Maxey with the one-handed grab, and then, the very last play to Jennings is, that's awesome for that kid going from last week at Mo West and not being able to catch the ball to win, to get in the game-winning touchdown this week. He's worked so hard, and then all those kids work so hard, but it was good to see him in this game like that.
And the game wasn't over. Emporia driving, but who else? Brock Long with the interception, and you got just enough pressure, I thought, on Wilson all day. You contained him well enough all day to keep him uncomfortable, and he made the mistake there at the very end.
Yeah, he did. And that's his most turnovers in a game. I think he had 3 coming into this game before that. We created 3 turnovers there in this game, 3 interceptions, and that's huge for our defense. But our D-line and our linebackers did a good job of keeping him in the pocket somewhere he doesn't really like to be. He likes to scramble and run around and make plays, and we didn't allow him to do that. And I think that's a big reason, for our success in that game was just the play of our D-line and our linebackers getting to him and keeping him off balance. But great play by Brock. A shoestring tackle. Another half an inch, and that thing probably hits the turf. But that was awesome to seal the game like that.
1 second left. Tigers go to the victory formation and run out the clock and win it 27-24. Now they get to face another undefeated team. Big showdown in Maryville Saturday against Northwest Missouri State, and we'll talk all about it on our final segment right here on Tiger Talk.
At Eagle Communications, we're proud to provide the communications services you need to get the most from today's technology. Our employee owners make it happen. We're part of your community, and we take pride in delivering excellent customer service. If you ever have a question, give us a call. We're here to help. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Welcome back. It's our final segment here on Tiger Talk, brought to you by the Golden Corral Buffet and Grill. Breakfast anytime. They can cater. And, of course, right now, if you get your regular meal, just $1.99 for your take-home bag. So some great food for the next day, maybe later snack that night, whatever the case may be. Just $1.99 at the Golden Corral, best buffet in the USA. Another big challenge, maybe the biggest of the year for Fort Hays State at Northwest Missouri State. Homecoming for the Bearcats in Maryville. Obviously very impressive. They had a big win over Pittsburgh State to stay undefeated Saturday. And a young team that had some close games early, but boy, it looks like they're starting to get everything on track. They had 2 blowout wins and then the victory down in Pittsburgh. It looks like they're playing maybe their best football right now.
Yeah, they're playing very, very good, and as the years gone on, they've gotten better, each week, and more impressive each week. I mean, their defense is amazing. I mean, they got tons of blitzes. They basically kind of do whatever they want to do, up front, with their D-line and their linebackers and their blitz schemes as well. And offensively, they're really starting to click on all cylinders. And they got great wide receivers. They got a great running back. Quarterback's very, very good too. And their O-line is very strong up front. So, we're going to have our hands full. But, I just want us to go down there and compete and do everything that we can to win this ball game and hopefully come away with a win.
Kind of interesting. You lead the conference, one of the top teams in the nation in rushing. They lead the conference and one of the top teams in the nation in stopping the rush. It's strength on strength, but it seems like in games like that, when you have a matchup, it's something else that turns out to decide a game.
It is, and it always does. It's funny how those things work out. Hopefully this week Trayvon gets his pass game going, and he can throw for 350, which would be awesome, and 4 or 5 touchdowns. And they're just very good. I mean, they're very good in the pass game as well. I mean, their defense is just solid all around. But hopefully we can find ways to attack them. Shore up our blocking schemes with the blitz packages that they have and the things that they're doing. And, our kids will be ready. They'll be prepared. And, it's just coming down to winning the one-on-one battles and doing your job and doing it to the best of your ability. If we do those things that we're supposed to, it's going to be a good football game, and hopefully we come away with the win.
They're one of those teams Fort Hays State has not beaten since joining the MIAA. We've talked about that before, but it was a wide gap at first, but it seems like that gap has narrowed. You look at the last few years, they've been very competitive games. You've been right in there, just haven't had either enough plays or just enough firepower to get over the hump. But I would think your team will have a lot of confidence knowing they have played well against Northwest in the past, and they've played well this year and have a great chance.
Yeah, we do. We just need to take care of ourselves and do the things that we do well and understand our assignments and, play hard. And that's what we tell our kids. You just play hard, play aggressive, play physical, and, things will work out for you. Just do your job and do your assignment and have fun while you're doing it, and that's the main thing. We got to win the one-on-one battles and, do the things that we need to do to win the ball game and not worry about so much what they're doing, but take care of ourselves and, things will work out for us.
Should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Saturday afternoon, a 2 o'clock kick in Maryville, Fort Hays State and conference leader Northwest Missouri State. Coach, as always, we appreciate the time. Have a great week of practice, and we'll see you up in Maryville on Saturday.
Thanks, Gerard.
That is head coach Chris Brown as his 5-2 Tigers take on the 7-0 Bearcats of Northwest Missouri State. Tiger Talk is brought to you by the Hayes Med Orthopedic Institute, the Taco Shop, G&L Tire and Automotive, Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, Adams Brown, Barron and Ball, Couture for Men and Women, and Eagle Communications. Hey, if you missed any part of the program, you can always catch it online at hayespost.com and the video replay on Eagle Cable's channel 14 and 614, 10:30 in the morning on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and then again at 7 o'clock in the evening on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tigers in Northwest Missouri State, 2 o'clock kick Saturday at Bearcat Stadium in Maryville. You can catch it on Tiger Radio Mix 103, 1 o'clock with the Auto World pregame show. For head coach Chris Brown, this is Gerard Welbrock saying so long on Tiger Talk. This is Gerard Welbrock inviting you to join us for Tiger Talk. Catch the video replay of Monday night's radio program at 10:30 and 7 o'clock, Tuesdays and Wednesdays on Eagle Cable Channel 14 and 614. That's Tiger Talk, Mondays on Tiger Radio Mix 103 and Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 10:30 and 7 on Eagle Cable Channel 14 and 614.